How's it going, guys? TacTixHD here with an NHL 15 video. This you guys looking at the new GM mode potential system in NHL 15. So we haven't heard much about GM mode. They haven't talked about any new updates or anything. Like you can do multi-team trades. If your player can hold out, you can go to arbitration, etc. But we do have a new potential system. So right here, guys, you can see Sidney Crosby's potential rating of franchise. This is the highest potential rating in the game. Obviously, it's a player that you can build your team around, and that sole player can possibly just turn it around for your entire club. So I'm not sure how accurate these potentials are. All of the potentials are just in white text. I'm assuming they're pretty accurate, or maybe they'll be different in GM mode. They'll be like white text, red text if it's unsure. But as far as we know right now, it just tells you exactly what the potential is. Next, guys, we have Anze Kopitar with elite potential. So obviously, an elite player, not quite as good as franchise, but one that you can definitely. If you have a couple elite players, that will definitely help your team. Next, guys, you have top six forwards, so obviously someone to fill out the top six, first or second line, depending on how good they are. Top six kind of ranges between like an 84 and like an 87. Once you get past the 87, you're kind of looking at an elite player. Next, guys, you have the top nine forwards, so obviously this is more of a third line guy, somewhere between the, 79, 83 range, so Tanner Pearson here. Next, guys, we have a bottom six forward, so obviously more of a grinder kind of style guy. Anyone between like a 70, 77, 78, and 82 is a bottom six forward. If they're high end 82, they'll probably be a, third liner, but anything less, they're looking at fourth line minutes. Next, guys, we have top six AHL forwards. So obviously, this is someone in the mid to high 70s. Top six AHL forward. That's probably as high as they get. They might be able to fill in sometimes for injuries in the bottom six of your NHL team. Alright, guys, so moving on here to the defenseman, you guys can see we have a franchise defenseman here in Shea Weber. So far, the only franchise defenseman I know of. Even Duncan Keith's just an elite defenseman, so franchise defensemen are even harder to come by. There's a few franchise forwards, Crosby, Taves, Ovechkin, Stamkos, etc. But Weber's the only franchise defenseman, so that's just a player you can completely build your team around. He'll make the defenseman, the other defenseman that much better having him on the ice. Next, guys, we have an elite defenseman, similar to the forwards, almost as good as the franchise defenseman, but you probably want a couple of these guys to make up for what the franchise defenseman brings to you. Next, guys, we have a top four defenseman, so this is going to be someone between, the, again, 84 to 87 range, really good defenseman, can fill in on the first or second line. Next, guys, we have the top six defenseman. Obviously, this is a defenseman, again, between like 78, 79 to like an 82, 83. He can play on the second line, but he'd probably be a better, just strong third line defenseman. Right here, guys, we have a seventh defenseman, Mike Koska. So this is someone that can fill in for injuries. Maybe put him on the bottom six if you don't have anybody else. But he's kind of like just that filler defenseman. And then lastly here, guys, we have Matt Hunwick. He's a top four AHL defenseman, so similar to the forward. He's a pretty good AHL defenseman, mid to high 70s. Fill in for injuries. Maybe, play on the bottom six if you're, got a lot of injuries to suffer from. Next, guys, we have the goaltenders. Jonathan Quick here's an elite goaltender. Actually, no franchise goaltenders for actual NHL players. Maybe if you're playing GM mode, a franchise goalie might be available in the draft. But Henrik Lundqvist, the top-rated goalie in the game, is an elite goaltender as well. So it will be interesting to see if we can get any franchise goaltenders in the draft. If you do, definitely pick him up. And then right here, guys, we have Martin Jones, NHL starter with only 82 overall. So even though he's a backup here, he's got the NHL starter potential. I'm guessing some guys have like NHL backup potential, AHL starter, AHL backup, etc. But with what we had to work with, I could only find elite and NHL starter for the goalies. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, please leave a like, subscribe for more, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye. You're gone and